Capricorn, welcome to your August 2019 general tarot reading. It's Raina here, shuffling the cards. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. 2 cards have come out. I'm going to include them. I'll pick an additional card. Death card isn't bad. It's just that I want to get a feel for it. Okay. The heart of the matter is the 2 of Pentacles. There's a saying, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, trying to take take some money to pay one bill and then putting off for the next month. But that's not the extent of this card. I mean, this card is actually could be like working 2 jobs. It can be balancing 2 different areas of life, maybe taking care of an elderly parent and also working a day job, or, you know, having a more, what do you call it, like a passive income stream. And then you have a day job. Like maybe you own a building and then you're also working. And you're it's really a card of having a lot of balls in the air and having to juggle them. And in the Rider-Waite deck, they actually show a juggler, I believe. But you know, it's funny because in this deck, they show a butterfly. So maybe you're doing something so that you can become, you know, who you're meant to be, and you're just doing this temporarily. And I think a Capricorn person would be really good at sacrificing the present for the future. I think that's something that you would do just naturally. But it could be very hectic, let's put it that way. In the past position, I have 2 cards. One of them is the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, and this can be an air sign male who also has fire. So, you know, a Libra with a moon in Aries or something like that. You know what I mean? The other air signs are Gemini and Aquarius. And it's also, in terms of professions, it's lawyers and teachers and writers and things like that, where they use their mind. This person can be rather blunt. So there's that. I don't think that this kind of a individual would necessarily offend you, but they may just tell it like it is. And if they happen to be a lawyer, this could be because you're dealing with a court case. Usually I would think like a you know, divorce, because we also have here the 3 of Cups. This is in your past, and this is celebration and also friendship. So that could be like you, unless you met somebody through friends. That's a possibility too. And in some cases, with the 2 of Pentacles, this can be like choice. Excuse me. So it's possible that there is somebody that you've met through some social interaction, and you have to, excuse me, decide between your marriage partner or your primary relationship and this other person. And it may be difficult, because this person you may have a respect for this person precisely because they have some certain traits, like I just mentioned, like because they are like a straight shooter. You know, that's a pretty good one, because we're coming from July when we've had these eclipses, and the solar eclipse fell in even the lunar eclipse in your sign the sun was in the seventh house in the relationship sector. And when there was the new moon, it was, or the solar eclipse, it was in Cancer, and it was in your seventh house. So the seventh house getting hit with these eclipses, either directly or indirectly. And the Two of Pentacles, it's like you might be juggling two relationships, but you know, with Pentacles, there's like that practical consideration that you're always going to place on, you know, is this thing that I'm doing, if this is an affair, can this ruin my home life? Or my family in general? Obviously, if you're having an affair, it's going to ruin your marriage, but your family in general, because this is the higher message, which is the Four of Wands, and this is the home, the happy home. It's funny, I was almost seeing like a God's eye in the middle there. And definitely, because you know, you probably can tell I'm a child from the 70s, because we used to make God's eyes all the time. It was so hippie-ish. The thing about the Four of Wands is, and this may not be something that you typically consider, is Wands connects to fire energy. Okay, so it's about generating excitement, enthusiasm, and desire. Okay, and with the number 4, you know, 4 is foundation, and it's connected to home. In astrology, the 4th house is home and family. That's the house of Cancer. So there's a Cancer connection. That could be a situation that a lot of people don't consider to be exciting, you know, the home life. But you can have an orderly, which is number 4, home life, and still have a feeling that it never gets old, that you're never like feeling trapped. Wands and fire energy connects to freedom. And a lot of times, certain people feel a sense of like oppression connected to home and to the domestic scene. And so, for instance, if you're dealing with somebody like if this is the person that you are interested in, if they happen to be like a fire sign, let's say, and for you it would be Aries typically, but the other fire signs are Leo and Sagittarius, that will tend to be like the that dynamic in the relationship where the Capricorn is, you know, keeping the home fires burning, and the fire sign is, you know, hard to pin down. It's not necessarily that they would be unfaithful, but they may be like, you know, very reluctant to spend a lot of time at home. They may want to do a lot of things. They may want to travel a lot. And they feel like, you know, the home is a bit of a tomb. So finding that balance of the partner that can appreciate home life, but still make it interesting and not make it dull, is, I guess, the challenge, right? And if this has to do with any kind of career matters, because like I said, you may be working 2 jobs or something like that, you may even be like tutoring, and you may have connections through your social circle, maybe the children, friends, and this allows you to spend more time at home, but it may be keeping you a bit, you know, like you're running ragged. The challenge card is the Magician. So there's some reason why you don't feel completely resourceful or self-sufficient. And in, like, if this is a relationship situation, that you can't take the initiative. That you're like, that's why the 2 is much more concerned about somebody else's opinion and bringing somebody else into it. The one is like, that's nice that you have that opinion, but this is what I'm going to do. And, it's not that it's easy to get into that frame of mind. It can be very challenging to get in that frame of mind where you're able to just make decisions based on your own needs. But in the case of how the magician may be affecting, like, a work situation, it may be that you're trying to start your own business, launch your own business, and you find that either you don't have enough time to devote to your business because you have a day job, or because you think you need a lot more resources that you don't have. The magician is about being resourceful and relying on oneself. And perhaps you are being too grandiose in your plans, and you need to start smaller and not need so much capital up front, and then it won't be that big of a deal. This deck doesn't, this magician card doesn't really show it, but in the other decks they show all the things that the magician has on his table that indicate that he has everything that he needs to do what he needs to do. And I think also in general, like the law of attraction ideas, where maybe you feel as if you can't, that you can't be a manifester, that you have to depend on external forces. Sometimes people don't like to work for themselves because they think that it's too like unpredictable, and they would rather know, how much money they're going to make each week and things like that. But on the flip side, if you have been feeling with your day job that you don't have, enough autonomy, then that may make it so that you are more motivated to make a business successful, so that you have more freedom to choose what you do with your time. With the Four of Wands too, the home is featured, but kind of like the ideal version of what your home life would be. And maybe you want to spend more time with your family, but you're just so wrapped up in everything. The advice is the Daughter of Swords, which connects to the Page of Swords. This, to me, in this context, is about researching and finding out what you need to do to accomplish your goals. And kind of being mentally prepared, and so that you can just make the best choices. Sometimes if there is like a workplace situation, which I don't see with this particular spread, but like it would be like documenting everything that's happening in the workplace that is, contributing to your problems there. But here, I think it's more like doing a lot of planning and research so that you're well informed about, if you are starting a business, how to do so in the easiest way possible, how to set up a website and things like that. Also, it can be about, if you're thinking about quitting, or maybe you're like old enough where you can be semi-retired and you think, okay, how much money do I need to live on until my official retirement? And then, researching that, doing some number crunching or what have you. The outcome, I did pick an additional card to this. This is, I love this one. The Death card is a card of transition, and the old is leaving. Again, the aftermath of the lunar eclipse in your sign. It's like a pretty massive ending in your sign. So being ready to say goodbye to the old and welcome in the new. It's not easy. A lot of people act like change is so great and everything, and really, I have found more times than not that it's kind of uncomfortable when especially when change comes in that we feel that we did not initiate, when it just seems like things are changing. So, not clinging to the old, being willing to accept the fact that things have changed and being okay with that, even if it is uncomfortable. Kind of working through that discomfort and embracing a new day. And the card I got with it is the Ten of Wands. 10 is the number of completion, so it's a great kind of emphasis of endings, ending of a cycle. With Wands, there can be, you have to watch out for doing too much, especially with that Two of Pentacles in the mix. Burning the candle at both ends. Remember that if you work too hard, you could burn out and then you wouldn't be able to do any job. So scaling back things that feel that maybe especially if it's something to do with caretaking, maybe it's a parent or something like that, perhaps you need to delegate and contact other family members and stop being the go-to person all the time, because you could be taken advantage of. I could see with the Two of Pentacles somebody who is trying to keep everything together, and other people may need to step up to the plate and do their share. It's okay to help people, but you don't want to enable others to be irresponsible and kind of like put everything on you, because you're not going to be able to maintain that forever. So anyway, I hope that you got something positive from this, Capricorn. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. Have a great August. Take care. Bye.